Every year, millions of kids roam the streets collecting what looks like harmless, fun-sized joy. But here's the dark trick behind the treat. In 2023, the CDC reported over 6,000 cases of candy-related visits during the Halloween season. And no, it's not just about sugar overload. We're talking about tainted treats, choking hazards, and chemicals so toxic they've been banned in Europe but still pop up in American candy aisles. Some of the worst offenders are still being handed out by well-meaning neighbors. Today we uncover the 5 deadliest Halloween treats that could be in your child's pillowcase right now, and 3 safer alternatives that won't make you feel like a monster. Number 5. Sour candy. That's more corrosive than battery acid. Literally. Some ultra-sour varieties like Warheads and Toxic Waste test with pH levels as low as 1.8. That's more acidic than vinegar and close to stomach acid. Pediatric dentists have warned for years that sucking on these candies can erode enamel in minutes and lead to long-term sensitivity and decay. But the real kicker? The so-called extreme versions still make millions during Halloween, targeting kids with packaging straight out of a chemical horror show. What's scarier, the candy's taste or the dental bill it leaves behind? Number 4. Lollipops packed with artificial dyes banned in other countries. Red 40, Yellow 5, and Blue 1 show up in the bright swirls and neon glazes of popular Halloween suckers, from ring pops to carnival twists. But here's what the rappers don't scream. Red 40 has been linked to hyperactivity in children, and the European Food Safety Authority flagged it for potential DNA damage. In 2022, California introduced legislation to restrict these exact dyes, especially in food aimed at kids. Yet here they are, front and center, in the trick-or-treat bowl. Looks festive, tastes like childhood, but your body processes it like a chemical experiment. So, what color are we turning when the science is this clear, and we still hand these out like prizes? Number 3. Chocolate bars laced with lead. This isn't clickbait, it's a lawsuit. In 2022, Consumer Reports found that 23 of 28 tested dark chocolates, including popular Halloween brands, contained alarming levels of lead and cadmium. Some bars exceeded California's maximum daily limit for children with just 1 serving. While dark chocolate is often praised for its antioxidants, that health halo hides a dirty manufacturing truth: contamination during processing, especially in factories overseas with lax regulations. The result? A toxic sweet that accumulates heavy metals in your body with every bite. Want to hand out mini bars this year? You might also be handing out neurological risk. Number 2. Gummy candies hiding carcinogenic secrets? Those cute, chewy bears and worms? Many still contain titanium dioxide, a whitening agent banned in the European Union since 2022 due to its potential DNA-damaging effects. In the US, it's still legal and unlabeled in small quantities, slipping into gummies under the radar. Studies have shown nanoparticles of titanium dioxide can accumulate in organs and disrupt gut health. But here we are, watching kids shovel down handfuls during Halloween gets harmless fun. If you think FDA approved means safe, you haven't been paying attention to the loopholes. Number 1. Caramel apples creeping with real bacteria. It sounds innocent fruit plus candy, right? But in 2014, a CDC investigation traced a deadly outbreak of listeria back to pre-packaged caramel apples. 7 people died, dozens were hospitalized, and the culprit wasn't the apple or the caramel alone, but the thin stick shoved through it, creating tiny air pockets where the bacteria thrived. Even refrigerated versions showed bacterial growth if they'd been pierced and stored long. So while you think you're giving kids a healthier treat, you might be handing them a petri dish on a popsicle stick. Would you eat that blindfolded? Let's flip the script. After that haul of horrors, you're probably wondering if anything is safe to eat on Halloween. Fortunately, there are a few rare alternatives that won't rot your teeth or rewiring your DNA. First up, organic fruit leather. Yeah, fruit that's been pureed and dried sounds bland next to neon gummies, but here's the twist. It delivers actual fiber and vitamins with 0 artificial junk. Brands like Stretch Island and That's It use simple ingredients with nothing you need a chemistry degree to decode. Kids love the chewy texture, and parents love that it won't end with a toxicology report. Even better, they're shelf-stable and mess-free, making them a smart addition to the treat bowl. And unlike traditional candies that spike blood glucose and crash energy levels, these offer a slow burn, not a sugar explosion. They won't get you cool points with the neighborhood kids chasing hypercolor wrappers, but they also won't send anyone to the ER. A fair trade? Absolutely. especially when the alternative is handing out poison in a plastic wrapper. Another safe bet? Dark chocolate but with receipts, not just brand names. While many mass-market options are off the table due to contamination risks, a few premium brands like Alter Eco and Pasha have published third-party lab results proving negligible or non-detectable levels of heavy metals. These companies source cacao from vetted farms with strict processing standards, often in regions with cleaner soil and transparent harvesting practices. Yes, they're pricier, but that extra dollar could be the difference between a treat and a toxin. And when you think about it, is it really more expensive, or just the real cost of not cutting corners on children's health? One last ally in the Halloween minefield: nut-free snack bars with recognizable ingredients. Brands like Made Good and Enjoy Life offer individually wrapped options made in facilities free from the top 8 allergens, including peanuts and tree nuts. They're sweetened with natural fruit concentrates or organic cane sugar, not high-fructose nightmares. And they sneak in things like oats and quinoa without triggering taste bud rebellion. Best of all, they give kids a sense of getting a real treat without secretly delivering synthetic dyes or microscopic metal fragments. It's not just candy, it's peace of mind with a wrapper. So, here's the question. When a holiday built on sugar, disguise, and mischief turns toxic, who's really wearing the mask? If you found even one surprise in today's lineup, share this with someone who still thinks just one won't hurt. Drop a comment below with your favorite safe Halloween treat, hit subscribe for more no-fluff exposé, and remember, sometimes the real horror isn't in the costumes, it's in the candy. Because here's the haunted truth. Companies spend millions every year engineering treats to bypass your instincts and hijack your craving sweetness dialed to addict. Textures precision designed to crunch or melt in just the right way. Behind the smiling pumpkins and cartoon monsters is a corporate lab churning out edible illusions. On Halloween, danger doesn't wear a mask, it wears a barcode. So, if you're handing out candy this year, ask yourself, are you part of the trick or finally ready to be part of the treat? And before you think this is Halloween hysteria, remember this. Nestle was forced to recall millions of chocolate bars back in 2021 due to undisclosed allergens. Kinder's salmonella scandal in Europe the same year hospitalized dozens of children. It's not a one-off. These are billion-dollar brands caught red-handed, still pumping products into stores with packaging that whispers safety and fun. But behind the colors, behind the logos, behind the clown-sized marketing budgets, lies a hard truth. Halloween isn't just spooky, it's a case study in edible deception. So, next October 31st, give the monsters a break. The real threat might already be inside the wrapper. If this shocked you, good, because it should. We've been trained to fear razor blades and apples, but not labels with 20 chemicals. We trade health for nostalgia, wrap toxins in foil, and call it tradition. It's time to unmask what we're really feeding our kids. So this Halloween, when you reach into the bowl, ask yourself, candy or consequence? And if you're still unsure, maybe the scariest thing isn't what's in the shadows, but what's sitting quietly in your pantry, smiling like it's sweet. And when the night ends, the wrappers rustle and the sugar highs begin to crash, what are we left with? A generation wired on synthetic joy, trained from childhood to trust what sparkles, no matter the cost. Maybe the biggest trick of all is convincing ourselves that one night of fun is harmless, while year after year the evidence stacks like empty candy wrappers. So go ahead, celebrate, dress up, knock on doors. But when that bowl comes out, make it count. Because behind every treat is a choice, and every choice is a chance to break the cycle. So, as the decorations come down and the candy bowl empties, maybe it's time we rethink what we're really handing out each Halloween. Not just sweets, but signals. It's about how little we question the things wrapped in shiny lies, how easily we accept danger when it's sugar-coated. This isn't just about candy, it's about consent, awareness, and the stories we teach through tradition. Next October, choose the treat that doesn't come with a toxic price tag. Because if there's one thing scarier than a haunted house, it's a culture that keeps pretending poison is harmless fun. And if you're still wondering whether it's all just paranoia, consider this. Decades ago, cigarettes were handed out as party favors at kids' events, and now we recoil at the thought, what we accept today as normal candy may, in hindsight, look just as unthinkable. So maybe the real question this Halloween isn't which costume to wear, but which truths we're ready to face. Because the most dangerous treats aren't the ones with teeth, they're the ones wearing a smile and waiting quietly in your child's bucket. This Halloween, peel back the wrapper. Ask what's in your candy, not just the ingredients, but the intention. Behind every artificially colored, sweetened, and shelf-stabilized snack is a choice someone made to sell you something addictive, not nourishing. And now, you get to choose differently. Because the real horror story isn't in the costume aisle, it's in the candy dish, in plain sight, hiding behind a smile. So this year, stop being tricked. Start treating with purpose. And maybe, turn Halloween back into something worth celebrating, not surviving. Expose Unlimited isn't here to ruin Halloween, just to rewrite the rules. Because real celebration doesn't need synthetic dyes, ghost stories don't need lead-filled chocolate, and joy doesn't come wrapped in deception. So let the monsters roam, the costumes dazzle, and the night stretch long, but let the treats tell a better truth. And if that means being the boring house with the safe snacks, wear it like armor. In a world trading health for hits of sugar-drenched nostalgia, doing the right thing is the boldest costume of all. Because here's the bottom line: every wrapper you toss, every treat you give, every snack you approve, is part of something bigger. It's not just candy, it's conditioning. A cultural ritual dressed in sweetness, powered by blind trust and corporate design. But once you see the mask slip, you can't unsee it. This Halloween, don't just hand out treats, hand out truth. And maybe next year, the scariest thing in the house will finally be the decor, not the ingredients list. So if someone jokes that you're taking Halloween too seriously this year, let them laugh. Because while they hand out artificial flavors and hidden heavy metals, you're handing out awareness. You're showing that protecting children doesn't mean killing the fun, it means redefining it. A holiday built on costumes and imagination should never depend on toxic shortcuts and corporate spin. Be the one who dares to unmask the illusion, because real courage doesn't come from capes or masks, it comes from conviction. And what's scarier than a haunted house? A world where we stopped asking questions. Not this time. So tonight, when the porch lights flicker and tiny ghosts gather at your door, remember, the real charm of Halloween isn't in the sugar, it's in the choices. You can be the house that frightens with fake kindness, wrapped in toxic sweets, or the one that quietly draws a line, proving that fun and safety aren't enemies after all. Because the truth doesn't have to come in a plastic wrapper, and sometimes the most radical act is offering something honest, something real, something that doesn't smile while hiding harm. Choose that, and let every treat be a message, not just Happy Halloween, but here's to a better one. Because at the end of the night, when the masks come off and the sugar buzz fades, what lingers isn't just the memory of costumes and laughter, it's the impact of what we gave, what we allowed, and what we ignored. Halloween doesn't have to be a chemical parade or a sugar trap dressed in nostalgia. It can still be magic, still be thrilling, and still be full of wonder without sacrificing our health or our integrity. So light the lanterns, sort the candy, and carve the pumpkins, but do it with eyes wide open. And let each sweet moment come not with risk, but with real joy. Choose better and pass it on. Because here's the thing most won't tell you. It was never really about the candy. It's always been about the story, the ritual, the memory, the magic of a night where anything feels possible. So what if this year, the magic came without a toxic trade-off? What if, instead of just handing out sugar-laced nostalgia, we handed out something that actually meant something? A little integrity, a little intention, and maybe even a little hope. That's the kind of treat that sticks long after the wrappers are gone. And if that makes you the strange house on the block, the one bucking the norm with safer snacks and sharper questions, then good. Halloween deserves a little more strange, a lot more honesty, and just enough truth to make the night unforgettable. Because behind every mask is a story. Make sure yours tells the right one. And if you're still with us, maybe that means you're ready not just to change what's in the candy bowl, but what Halloween stands for altogether. Because in a world where every shelf screams for your attention and every treat hides a fine print, the most radical thing you can do is choose differently. Choose clarity over nostalgia, safety over sparkle, truth over tradition. This year, let your light be the one that leads not just through the dark streets, but through the darker habits we've accepted for too long. Happy Halloween from Expose Unlimited, where every scare tells a story that matters. So turn on your porch light, open the door, and look those little monsters in the eye, knowing you've made a choice that echoes louder than any spooky soundtrack. You gave more than a treat, you gave a message, a standard, a little bit of rebellion wrapped in care. And while the world may still chase the shiny, the sweet, and the dangerously familiar, you chose better. That's not just how you change Halloween, that's how you change the story. One safe, intentional treat at a time. Because the real monster isn't the one with fangs or claws. It's the one that smiles sweetly, backed by million-dollar ad campaigns and colorful wrappers, convincing us year after year that what's harmful is harmless. But tonight, with every safer choice you make, you're not just avoiding danger, you're redefining what Halloween can be. So, take a stand, pass it on, and let integrity be the scariest thing you bring to the doorstep. This has been Exposé Unlimited here to uncover the tricks so you can protect the treats. Happy Halloween. And when the wrappers have settled and the echoes of laughter fade into the crisp October night, let this linger. A moment of responsibility wrapped in care, passed from hand to tiny hand. Because every treat you gave this year wasn't just a snack, it was a signal, a stand, a small but mighty act of truth in a world too easily tricked. Halloween doesn't need fixing, it needs focus. And with every choice you made tonight, you lit a path others can follow, not just safer but smarter. From everyone here at Exposé Unlimited, thank you for daring to look behind the mask. Until next time, stay sharp, stay aware, and stay unapologetically honest. Because when the night winds down and the costumes come off, what truly lasts isn't the glow in the dark loot or the sugar crash, it's the choices we made while pretending it didn't matter. You didn't just give out candy tonight, you gave out a message louder than any scream, that safety, truth, and real joy still belong at the heart of Halloween. And from all of us at Exposé Unlimited, thank you for choosing courage over convenience and for treating this night with the power it deserves. Until next year, keep asking, keep questioning, and never stop unmasking the sweet illusions.